I'll give you a great example. There's a story out about a mother, Kyle. I think her name is Kyle, K-Y-L, Myers. She is a Utahan. I thought people from Utah were very conservative. Apparently not this lady. She's the mother of a 4-year-old child who refuses to disclose whether the child is a boy or a girl. And she says she's going to let the child decide his own gender. I say his because his is the singular gender-neutral pronoun. And this mother has now been accused of child abuse. Here's her take on it. She says, my partner, Brent, and I, not husband, not boyfriend, partner, like she's started an accounting firm or something. My partner, Brent, and I do something called gender creative parenting. I believe gender is up to an individual to determine and does not need to be assigned at birth. I know a lot of people who are intersex, transgender, and non-binary. I myself am a genderqueer woman who uses they, them, and she, her pronouns. So, first of all, this woman is not genderqueer because there's no such thing as genderqueer. It's a meaningless expression. And I think what genderqueer really means is give me attention. I'm a give me attention woman, and I'm really special. Give me attention. She says she knows a lot of intersex, transgender, and non-binary people. She doesn't know any non-binary people because that's not real. She might know some intersex. That's where you're born with some ambiguity as to your sex. It's an exceedingly rare condition. And she may certainly know some transgender people, men who think they're women or vice versa. But she doesn't know a lot of them. And the way I know she doesn't know a lot of them is there aren't a lot of them because it's an extraordinarily rare condition. Certainly the biological ambiguity on sex is very rare. And the psychological issue has been rare, though it is growing by leaps and bounds because it has not only a psychological or biological component, but it has a social component. And it is growing as a social contagion, particularly among young people who are being abused by their elders who should know better, like this lady's child. Gender creative. You cannot have a functioning society in which there is normal parenting and gender creative parenting. You can't have, at least on a broad scale, you can't have a functioning society because those two expressions make contrary ontological claims. They make contrary, they begin from contrary premises about nature, about biology, about the human person, about how we all interact with one another, about how education happens, right? Do you teach children? Do you educate them? Do you raise them in a certain way? Or do they, in a sense, teach you and then discover haphazardly the reality of the world, right? Completely different views of things. She says, I believe gender is up to an individual. It's not. It's not. It is a given fact of nature, and nature doesn't change. I suspect this lady believes nature can change, which means it's not really nature anymore. And it does not need to be assigned at birth. I am a genderqueer woman. No. How can you be genderqueer and a woman? Doesn't make a lot of sense. She says, I use they, them, and she, her pronouns. Well, which is it? Is she multiple people? Maybe. Perhaps she has issues with multiple personalities as well. She would appear to. She's saying, I am two kinds of person at the same time. If you have a society in which men can be women and women can be men, then you don't have a society in which men are men and women are women. And that has huge effects. For instance, actually I remember Andrew Sullivan wrote, Andrew Sullivan is a gay sort of conservative writer. He wrote an essay a few years ago in which he pointed this out. He said, if we live in a society with transgenderism, then I can't be a gay guy. And I can't be a gay guy because the premises that I'm beginning with are there are men and there are women, and sexual orientation has a very strong biological component to it, and it's sort of hardwired in, and I'm born this way, and I didn't choose this or whatever, and so therefore I'm a gay guy, right? If you live in the transgender world, there's no such thing as men or women, and it's not hardwired in. Not only can you change your desires, you can change your sex itself. You can be a man and then become a woman. You can't live in a functioning society with both of those things. The reason that the left has sort of encouraged all these various contradictory new standards and ethics is because They attack the old system, right? And with the left, when they wield political correctness, it's a negative instrument. It's an instrument to just destroy the old system, the old standards, the old rituals, the old mores, the old moral order. So it doesn't matter if they contradict one another, as long as you destroy the old order, you've kind of accomplished your goal. But that is child abuse. Either it is, for this woman, either it is child abuse to tell your child he doesn't have a sex and he can pick it later on, or it is child abuse to tell your child he has a sex. And it depends which premise you begin with, but you cannot have both. If you enjoyed that break from disinformation, historical revision, and screaming about the end of the world, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss another video.